Alright, so let's talk about Inconceivable right now. So, summer blockbuster season is in full effect. It's hot, people are sweating. Nonetheless, you got the big movies, you got the small movies, you got the good ones, you got the bad ones. Unfortunately, the bad ones tend to kind of pop up like a woman at a Bill Cosby trial, but hey, that shit just tends to fucking happen, am I right? So, let's talk about Inconceivable. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it dog shit? Should it be burned at the stake? Let's talk about this thing right now. It's dog shit, right? We're not even going to sugarcoat this shit. People are saying this was actually pretty good. And people be like, hey, this is like coming on the edge of my seat. If by edge of your seat you mean I wanted to literally be on the edge of my seat, just prepared to fucking walk out, then congratulations. It kept me on the edge of my seat too. Here's the thing about Inconceivable. It's really boring. I mean, that is the worst thing I think you could probably say about a movie, but it's a Lifetime movie type of boring. And I mean, like, it's just so slowly paced to the point where it doesn't really pick up about until like the last 15 to 20 minutes. And even then, it's not even that interesting because you're probably sweating either from the heat or just simply put because you're bored, you're going to slightly doze off a bit. But nonetheless, I pretty much stuck with it all the way through because I'm a trooper. And that is what it is. Now, but like I said, this movie's got some poor pacing issues. I just thought nothing was really happening at all. Even when it was like lesbians having sex, pretty much Eva Marie and the crazy chick having sex, that really didn't do anything to really even get me awake. And that's sad, just to begin with. Now, you have pretty much a fantastic cast in this movie, and it's still inconceivable as to why the fuck they signed on to this thing. You have the fucking King of Rage, Cage. You know, we have Nicolas Cage in this movie. And it's pretty much obvious Nicolas Cage does not give a fuck about this movie. Honestly, this is probably Nicolas Cage's 30th film that he filmed this month. Simply put, this dude does not give a fuck about this film. He is struggling here. This dude is sleepwalking. This dude is having a harder time seeming interested in this film than fucking stealing the Declaration of Independence. It's harder for him to do that. It's harder for him to keep interested than to steal the Declaration of Independence. Take that into consideration. Gina Gershon is fucking just wondering that, how the fuck did I get to this point? How the fuck did I get in a movie worse than Showgirls? Honestly, I think she's probably saying to herself, fuck, I'd rather take Showgirls 2 than to fucking be in this movie. Look, Gina Gershon and Nicolas Cage, they fucking reunite after Face Off. And boy, you wouldn't have known it, but they don't have any fucking chemistry. Even though they're top of their game compared to some of the other actors in this movie, they're not really giving anything. Honestly, their emotion pretty much is just dead. Like, it's just completely going through the motions. Gershon tries her best towards the end to give something. Cage finally shows an ounce of emotion with like 5 minutes left of the film, and that's pretty much it. And that's just a simple case. Gina Gershon is just stupid in this movie. And we'll get to that in a second, but she's just completely stupid. Inviting someone that you don't fucking know at all into your house, and then you kind of become friends. She's crazy because you don't look into her past. Look, you bring all this shit on yourself. And also, what woman would fucking bring on a hot woman into their house to stay with them when you have your husband and whatever it may be, you have problems with him, and on top of that you have a very hot trainer played by Eva Marie? It's just like, what the fuck is going on here? No dude would do that. Be like, hey, let me give my wife a hot fucking male trainer, and also let me get a hot fucking babysitter. You know, be like, that doesn't make any sense. No dude or woman would want that shit, just to begin with. Then you got Faye Dunaway in this thing. You also got Eva Marie in this thing. You probably wonder, well, how the fuck is Eva Marie? How well is Eva Marie? All read everything. Once you go black, you don't go back. Because the hairstyle, you get it? Good. Now let's move on. How's her acting? Well, I'm just going to say this right now. Right? Take this into consideration. You can pretty much, maybe you might understand what I'm saying. Eva Marie's acting is about as believable as an Asian with a 10-inch dick. That is about it. That is all I would say about Eva Marie. She looks great. She does a lesbian scene. Sorry, fellas, she does not get nude, but the crazy chick does, and she actually has some pretty perky nipples, if you know what I'm saying. But, nonetheless, that's basically what you get. You get a lesbian scene, but you don't really get anything from it. She kisses the girl, you see that? Great. She looks good in the water. She gets wet. That's about it. She's okay, but it's pretty obvious she got hired for her looks. She's not terrible. She's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's nothing to rage home about. And it's actually kind of baffling that she actually shares a scene. Eva fucking Marie shares a scene with Faye Dunaway. But now let's get to Faye Dunaway. Faye Dunaway, the legend. Miss Bonnie Parker herself. You know, straight from Chinatown, people. Here's the thing. I don't know if Faye Dunaway took too many Tommy gun shots to the face, but what the fuck happened there? I mean, it's like 2 ping pong balls just shoved up her cheeks, looking like Alvin and the fucking Chipmunks. But nonetheless, she's the best actress in this entire, you know, film. And rightfully so, but she's the only one actually calling the script out on all of his dumbness. I mean, like, literally, she even pokes fun at the fact that you be like, she's telling Gina Gershon, you just let somebody into your house, you fucking invite him to your guest home, now she's your fucking donor. But like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And she's a skeptic, and that makes sense. But by the time the movie actually does fucking end, she just kind of fades out, and she's not a skeptic anymore, and then she's not even in the movie with like the last like 15, 20 minutes. She just evaporates. Like, from this to Bye Bye Man, Faye Dunaway really need to fucking check her scripts correctly. Because I'm starting to worry about Faye, you know? First the Oscars, Bye Bye Man, Jesus Christ, what a bad year for Faye. But then, you know, we move on to directing, writing, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Director is Jonathan, Bakes, I think, whatever the fuck his name is. Anyway, the director pretty much directed nothing. And honestly, I looked him up, and he pretty much has just done basically nothing. A few acting roles, and he's in this movie. He was generous enough to give himself a part, and he's shit in it. The writer is pretty much Chloe King. She wrote Poison Ivy. Not the decent one. She wrote Poison Ivy 2, which has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes if you're going by numbers, but nonetheless, it was still pretty much shit. And it pretty much plays exactly kind of like that type of feel of Poison Ivy, if you know what Poison Ivy actually is, the movie. But either way, there's nothing here. The writing doesn't make any fucking sense, as I pretty much have said. You got a woman, which is pretty much the crazy chick, coming into the house. Eva Marie pretty much sets her up with Gina Gershon. They kind of become friends. Boom. She kind of takes her to the house. They kind of have, they have a movie night. Boom. Then she pretty much invites her to the guest house for a little bit. Why tell her to stay in the guest house? I don't know. You don't know shit about this bitch. And then she pretty much becomes crazy, and then she wonders why there's a fucking problem. This thing has got more cliches than an 80s action film. That is the legit fucking truth. There's nothing new here. And I get it. This type of genre tends to have a whole bunch of cliches shoved up the nose, but you have to fucking find a way to kind of tweak this shit. And I will give them their props. Gina Gershon being kind of like the lead here, usually is kind of a man being a lead when it comes to the crazy bitch type of, genre, whatever it may be. So I would give them their props. They're adding, they didn't want to be sexist, so they switched gender roles or whatever it may be. I don't fucking know. Either way, they handle everything pretty much poorly. By the time the movie does end, obviously somebody either has to die or somebody has to get hurt. And the movie, they stab Gina Gershon, spoiler. Eva Marie's dead, spoiler. You don't give a fuck anyway. Regardless, by the time the movie ends, the chick just pretty much goes to the insane asylum. And then it turns out there's a twist, I guess. But the movie is so lazy enough to kind of display it to the point where I was actually kind of confused what was the twist. The writing is just slow. The pacing is slow, and the actors don't seem like they're overall interested in giving anything more than just decent enough performances. Not even decent enough performance, just passable enough to get to the end of the road. The director, fuck him. The writer, fuck her if she's attractive. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. Don't see this movie unless you actually have some common fucking sense. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.
Inconceivable!
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 You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.